I can remember just not having the time or caring enough to even play a game like Super Mario Galaxy 2. It was the first Super Mario game in the main franchise that I actually skipped. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Turn your home into the most exciting place in the universe with Super Mario Galaxy 2.
But first, a word about this video's sponsor, Aura. When I look back at life growing up in the 80s and 90s, it felt like a simpler time. No social media, no smartphones, and definitely no data brokers tracking everything we did online. But here's the thing, today, our personal information is constantly being bought and sold without us even knowing. If you Google your own name or email, you'll probably be shocked at what comes up. Pages and pages of personal information being sold by data brokers. That's how scammers, telemarketers, even stalkers get your info. That's why I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Aura. Aura automatically removes your information from these sites and keeps it off. It's the service I use and recommend to my family. Think of it this way. Having some security but not Aura is like locking the front door of your house but leaving the back door wide open. With Aura, you get real-time alerts if your info shows up on the dark web, fraud alerts for your credit and banking, a secure VPN, antivirus, even a password manager, all in one app. We grew up in a time where protecting yourself meant locking your bicycle, but today, protecting your digital life is just as important. That's why I chose Aura. Try Aura for 14 days at aura.com/myretrolife. In just 2 weeks, you'll see where your data is exposed and how Aura scrubs it clean. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring today's video.
Yes! Yes! It's Super Mario World 2!
Growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, you never would have convinced my younger self that there would one day come a time when I would have no interest in buying the latest Super Mario Bros. Game.
Go. 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 Go.
Super Mario Bros. Basically introduced me to video games. And if I didn't have Super Mario Bros. In my life, I really don't think I would have become a gamer when I did.
Gotcha.
I don't know how many of you believe in love at first sight, but I can tell you, my 2.5, 3-year-old self watching my mom and my Aunt Sharon play Super Mario Brothers, I fell in love with the world of video games. Even if I didn't know it at the time, I was a lifelong gamer.
What's this, Tyler? Nintendo.
This franchise meant so much to me growing up. Every time a brand new Super Mario Bros. Game came out, it was like an event. It became a moment of celebration.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
We just got
We were lucky. One of the chosen few. We found it.
Every new game brought with it brand new power-ups, like the raccoon suit in Super Mario Bros. 3, or brand new characters like Yoshi in Super Mario World. Very few other video game franchises captured my imagination the same way that Super Mario Bros. Did. And really the same thing can be said for my cousins. Over in New York, my cousins were experiencing the same love and admiration for the Super Mario Bros. Series. Every new game felt like a shared event, not just within my family, but throughout the entire world.
Mario! Mario!
As I got older and experienced more of life and life's hardships, I was an only child, and as corny as it sounds, having a character like Mario basically grow up alongside you. I mean, he had been in my life for as long as I could remember.
Mario Brothers radio.
Wow.
Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, he was right there alongside me when my parents got divorced. 1996, when Super Mario 64 came out, I escaped into that world. That became the defining console of that season of my life when my parents were hurting and really my whole family, we were at our lowest. He really helped me get through that season, along with other Nintendo 64 games.
Oh yeah.
Super Mario games and gaming in general really became my comfort zone. I turned to video games and the Super Mario Brothers franchise in times when I needed help the most, in times when I needed a friend the most. It was my safety net. I could always fall back on video games to make me feel better. Inside a game like Super Mario 64, you could get lost inside the many hallways of Princess Peach's castle. You could jump into paintings that brought you into other worlds.
Yahoo!
Unfortunately, there came a time in my life where even Super Mario Brothers was not my happy place anymore. When Super Mario Galaxy came out on the Nintendo Wii in 2007, it was just weeks after my dad passed away. And it became one of the most emotional experiences of my life, playing that game, listening to its ethereal, beautifully orchestrated soundtrack, soaring through the universe. There was something very almost spiritual about that game in a crazy way. It felt like God had given me Super Mario Galaxy to sort of remind me that he was still here, that he was with me. And really, it was right after that holiday season of 2007 where I just completely fell out of love with video games. I think Super Mario Galaxy was sort of like the pivotal moment in my life as a gamer where I realized I couldn't take it anymore emotionally. I had to distance myself from the hobby, from the lifestyle, from the life I had with video games and my dad. I mean, that's the thing. Video games and my dad, that's how we bonded. That's how we grew so close over the course of my life up until that point. In 2007, I was 21 and I was ready to move on in so many ways. The loss of my dad was so difficult and so hard on me. Taking a back step away from video games, I think it was essential to the grieving process. I started pouring myself more into my film career. I was in college studying film, and I also was very interested in music. I was writing a lot of music and songs, and I was even in a band for a little bit there, which we were awful. We were so bad. I entered into a season of my life where I really didn't care about video games anymore. And it's for that exact reason that I completely missed out on Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Turn your home into the most exciting place in the universe with Super Mario Galaxy 2. Rated E for everyone.
2010 started off with a lot of hope and promise. I was busy working at a video production company and really honing in my skills as a cinematographer and an editor. And I was working with just the greatest team of people. Like, it was so much fun. We were young and we were hungry for cinema and just really just improving our craft. We sharpened each other. I loved all those people I worked with back then at that video production company. We did a lot of weddings and we did music videos. We did all sorts of things here in the Houston area. And that was such a fun time, a time that I really needed to just lose myself in other things that weren't video games. And by the time 2010 rolled around, really, video games had taken such a back seat, guys. I mean, just to show you, if we look at the year 2010 in gaming, out of all of the games that came out that year, the only 2 video games I ever bought and played were Mass Effect 2 and Dead Rising 2 on the Xbox 360. Those are the only 2 games I bought that year, guys. I can remember this specifically with Dead Rising 2. I was playing Dead Rising 2, and I remember just thinking to myself, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to spend any more time playing this game or really any other game, because I would much rather be focusing my energy and my efforts on my film work, writing screenplays, writing music. Believe it or not, guys, I actually came to a point where I thought video games and playing video games were a waste of time. Isn't that just crazy to even think about? Like, I can't believe I'm even saying those words. I mean, video games were such a huge part of my life. I mean, some of the greatest moments of my life were because of video games and the shared love of video games with my dad and my cousins. And here I was at this juncture in this season of my life where so many things were changing, and I just didn't want to have it anymore. It's almost like you can't fit everything into your life. There are seasons where something has to go. And in this season, it was video games. And my cousins were really busy too. I mean, that was the year my cousin Manny got married. And I remember going to New York that year to visit him for the wedding. I was a groomsman in his wedding. And we didn't talk about Super Mario Galaxy at all. The game had been out for a couple of months, but it didn't even faze us, guys. I mean, I was just in a different place in life. And perhaps on some even subconscious level, there was a part of me that didn't want to even go near this game because I remembered what Galaxy 1 did to me. I remember how it tore my heart in half playing through Galaxy 1 and just thinking about my dad. If Galaxy 1 had that effect on me, it was quite possible that Galaxy 2 was also going to be an emotional roller coaster. And I was moving on. There were incredible things happening in my life, and I was moving forward, excited about the future. I look back to that season, and when I look at Super Mario Galaxy 2 today, holding it in my hands, just looking at the box art, I can remember just not having the time or caring enough to even play a game like Super Mario Galaxy 2. It was the first Super Mario game in the main franchise that I actually skipped. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Boy, you've been wanting that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That was on your Christmas list, right?
Yep.
I can also say this was a time in my life where I was growing more spiritual. I was connecting with my faith. There were so many things pulling me away from video games. And that was okay. You go through seasons in your life where the things that mattered so much to you at one point, all of a sudden, they don't. And you end up skipping a game like this because your priorities are in a different place. That span of a few years there where I just really wanted nothing to do with video games, it was a time for me to grow. It was a time for me to learn new things. You're only given so much time on this earth to cultivate friendships, relationships, hone in talents and skills. And really, up until that point, I had spent so much of my life playing video games and not really having too many other things that I loved in life.
Yes! It's Super Mario World 2!
The year after Super Mario Galaxy 2 came out, I met Megan and we fell in love. We started a family. You know, falling out of love with video games, I think it had to happen. In a lot of ways, I had to fall out of love with video games so that I could become inspired by them again. Nintendo, they're showing a lot of love to Super Mario Galaxy these days. We had the announcement recently of the brand new Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out next year in 2026. And Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 bundle is coming in just a few days from the release of this video. And man, now's the time. You know, I think it's all come to this moment where I can finally spend some time not just by myself, not just sitting alone in a season where other things were more important to me. No, I get to sit in my home with my daughter and experience Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the first time, and with her. I feel like everyone has that one game in their life that's the game that got away. For me, that game will always be Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii. It's that one game I can think to myself and be like, wow, how on earth did I miss out on this game? I mean, I was such a fan, and Super Mario was such a huge part of my life, such an inspiration, and Super Mario Galaxy 2, one of the greatest and most beloved games in the entire franchise. It's one I never got to experience back when it came out. Well, guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this look back on the 15-year-old Super Mario Galaxy 2. I can't believe it's been 15 years. And when I think back to 15 years, I can't help but think about the time and the season I was in my life. A season where I was so busy and so involved in various things in my adult life where I had no interest in video games at all. So, are any of you guys going to pick up Super Mario Galaxy 1 or 2 on Nintendo Switch? Or maybe you've owned the game since back in the day and you still have your Nintendo Wii copy. Definitely let me know in the comments below any stories that might exist or that you might have experienced with this game. Definitely, I want to hear about it. And if this is your first time to the channel, do consider subscribing. I love talking about my game crazy family and all the amazing adventures we had with video games, so many of which were caught on tape by Dad. And a big shout out to my patrons over on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you so much for supporting the channel the way you do. Definitely head on over to patreon.com/myretrolife or click the join button right here on YouTube. That's it, guys. Catch you next time.
Mario!